Morning. Click like, click share. I wanted to talk today. Well, click like, click share, share. I haven't been on here for a while, doing other things, but eventually I'm going to be a little bit more stable. So, I wanted to talk to you today about bullies. Unfortunately, ever since I came to this country, I had to deal with them. I remember my first day in school. I was like 6, 7. And I was a little advanced, so they put me in third grade because they tested me, and then they said, okay, you can go in third grade. So my first day of school, I went. A couple of days before, my mom walked me to the school, me and my cousin, because we're new to the country, and she said I won't be able to walk you to school. So I'm going to take you today, show you how to get there. And then tomorrow I have to go to work. So I need you to, walk yourself to school. She said the other kids might go that direction. So you just follow along. So she did that the week before. So when Monday came and school started, that's what I did. I followed along because I used to live in Brownsville. I followed along Picking Avenue, and I got to my school by myself. So the first day of school, um, the teacher told me to take a seat. There was no seat in the front, and there was like one seat left. But this girl, I forgot her name. This girl had her book bag in the seat. So the teacher told me to sit there. So I said, "Excuse me, can you move your bag, please?" And she said, "No, somebody's sitting there." So I said, "Oh, teacher, somebody's sitting there." So the teacher said, "Ain't nobody sitting there. Move the bag." And the teacher told the girl to move the bag. She didn't want to move it. So I stood there and I watched the teacher. She said, "Move the bag." She didn't want to move the bag. So I picked up the bag and I put it on her desk and I sat down. So after school, she was waiting for me, her and three other friends. So they circled me and they pushed me from left to right, left to right. And I didn't know what was going on. She said, "Oh, you think you bad, huh?" And that was the first and only time I let somebody put their hands on me without defending myself. So anyway, I didn't know what was going on because, I was new to the country and new to school. So I went home and told my mom. I said, "Mom," in my broken English, I said, "Mom, I went into school and the teacher told me to sit down. The girl didn't want to move her bag. So after a while, I had to start the lessons because the teacher wanted to start the lessons, and she kept yelling at me to sit down. So I sat down. I just moved the bag, and these girls met me in the front, and they pushed me from left to right. I mean, that's all it was. It wasn't no hitting or smacking or punching. They just pushed me from left to right, talking whatever. I can't remember exactly. And my mother said to me like this. She said, "If you ever come here and tell me someone has pushed you around and you didn't defend yourself, I'm going to beat your ass myself." And she meant that. And I remember that. And ever since that day that I told my mom, and my mom told me what to do, or else, I defended myself. Because who wants a beating from their mother? So you fight the bullies, either fight the bullies or you get a beating. So my thing was, I'm not gonna get a beating from. Cause my mom, she wasn't no joke. She would either strip me and beat me with the belt or whatever she can find and pick up. She would be going in. So I'm like, I'm not getting no beating from my mother. So ever since then, I defended myself from bullies. So as the years went by, um, the next day nothing happened or whatever because I stood up to them. They left me alone because I stood up to them. But during the years, we all grew up. So now I'm in fifth grade, and we're playing catch with the guys. We're playing Cocolivio. For those who know what Cocolivio is, it's just a catch game. It's a tag game, tag you it. Well, we call it Cocolivio. So I'm playing Cocolivio, and this guy named Vinny, really cute guy. He was cute, light skin, nice thick mixed hair, because he looked like he was mixed with something, but he was real light skinned. And anybody knows, back in the 70s, light skinned people was in. I'm sorry, you know how we get in our black community. Anyway, he was in, so, but he was very cute though. He was really handsome, so he deserved somebody. So we playing Cocolivio. So I guess he's showing me a little bit too much attention. So some other girl, this girl named Rhonda, because she had my name. This girl named Rhonda got jealous because she liked him. I mean, I thought he was cute, but I didn't really, I wasn't really into him like that. I just thought he was cute. But it seemed like she liked him. So, I was sort of a tomboy. So she's like, she picked a fight. She wanted to pick a fight with me, but she was really tall. So what she did, she picked a fight with my cousin, Derek. The craziness. We in fifth grade. She likes a guy, and me and him playing. I mean, we was all playing. Everybody was playing. And she got jealous of something, and she wanted to pick a fight with me, but I'm short or whatever. So I don't know why she didn't come directly to me, but she picked a fight because me and my cousin were very close. Me and my cousin Derek, we're like brothers. We grew up like brothers and sisters. So we don't call each other cousins. We call each other brother and sister because we grew up in the same house from where we're from day one. When I was a baby and he was a baby, our parents put us to live with my grandmother. So we consider each other brother and sister. So anyway, so but he's older than me, but he was in the same school. She picked a fight with my cousin Derek. So Derek came to me. Derek came to me. He said, Rhonda. He said this girl named Rhonda wanted to fight me, and I don't know why, but I can't fight her because she's a girl. Maybe because she saw me and my cousin was real close. But I still don't know why she didn't just come to me if she wanted to. Anyway, she went to my cousin Derek. So Derek came to me and she said, "Oh, Rhonda, I can't fight her because she's a girl. I can't fight no girl. You gonna have to fight her." So I did. So here come her brother. Oh my! Back in the day, it was so stupid. So she went home, told her brother whatever she told her brother. So now her brother came to fight my cousin Derek, and they did. So me and her tussling, her brother and my cousin tussling on different days. And I don't know who won. I'm not gonna, boast and say I won because I can't remember. But I sure put some licks in. I wasn't standing there. I didn't want to get it from my mom. I remember when my mom told me I wasn't gonna get it from the I'm gonna fight you. So bullies just be I'm telling you this story because bullies just be wanting you to back down. And she went and got her brother, and they come in a pack. They don't just come with you, because he came with his boys. And I said to myself, if anybody jumped my cousin, I'm gonna have to fight some boys. But it was respectful, and it was just him and the brother fought. But the boys came, and I said to myself, Rhonda, if you see any boys jump your cousin, you're going to have to jump in. And I was ready. I was ready to jump them guys and fight them too. You're not going to jump my cousin. Sorry. You're not going to do it. I don't care if I'm a boy or a girl. You're not going to do it. It's either going to be a fair fight one-on-one or, I'm going to be tussling. So me and him looking at each other like, why we fighting? But we had to fight. We don't know why this girl picked a fight with us. She just wanted to fight. So, we fought, he fought, I fought, and that was it. So when I was ready to graduate public school, um, I'm trying to remember. It had this girl named Jackie. So Jackie was one of the crew. I lived in the building. Her crew lived in the projects, but the project was across the street from my building. Not directly, 2 blocks from my building. But I had my friend name was Crystal. I had 2 friends in the projects. I had Crystal, and I forget the other one. Crystal, now, she was very pretty and very if everybody liked Crystal. She was always up on fashion or whatever. And I forget the other young lady's name, but 2 of them was my friends, and since 2 of them was separately my friends, they became friends because both of them lived in the project, just they lived on separate floors. I think they knew each other first, and then one of them introduced me to the other one. I can't remember exactly, but we all went to the same school. So back in the day, Brenda, sorry, not Crystal, Brenda. So me and Brenda was good friends, and Brenda lived in the projects, and so did this other girl. So since my mom was working every day, me and Brenda would go to her house and we would eat. So that's how I used to eat, because my mom is at work. And my mom didn't like me to go to my aunt too much because she didn't want my aunt to know that she's struggling to feed me and take care of her bills and stuff. So my mother like, don't ask nobody for nothing. So sometimes I'll be hungry before my mom get home or whatever. So what I used to do is after school, I would go to Brenda's house. And Brenda was real cool with me. And we used to listen to Diana Ross. I was a big fan. That's how I became a big fan of Diana Ross. Because that time, Diana I think she just made her album, her single album by herself. And she would just popping them out left and right, album after album after album. So every day after school, me and Brenda would go to her house and listen to Diana Ross. And Diana Ross became my favorite artist. Next to New Edition, but Diana's first. Sorry, New Edition. So Diana Ross became my very first reason to love music because her music was really good. And then Marvin Gaye because when my stepfather got a car, he would drive us around and he would be playing Marvin Gaye. I remember he was doing that. He had everybody in the car because he just got a brand new car and Marvin Gaye just passed. I remember that day. I was young and he was all in my stepfather's car driving around. And we got the news that Marvin Gaye passed. Yeah, so here comes Jackie. Everybody's getting ready to graduate. Because it was tumultuous in that school. I don't know if you know Brownsville, but it's do or die. That's Bed-Stuy, but in Brownsville, it's like a lot of projects. So it's always something going on. So you gotta fight for your life in some of these schools when I was younger. So but I tried to stay away from the fight. They was always telling us, picking sides. Oh, pick this side. We gonna all fight tomorrow. But I used to look at it that way. I used to look at it this way. Because I noticed, I said, okay, we fight one day and 2 days later, all of them is friends and all of them live in the projects. I don't live in the projects. So when they was all fighting, I never showed up. I'm like, I'm going home. Me and Brenda went home. I'm not staying here to fight for nobody because they fight. They used to fight each other over stupidness. You in the fifth, sixth grade. You fighting over nonsense. So every other day they had a fight with each other, and they was all best friends, but they had their separate friends because they lived in separate projects. So they was friends, but then when they get in an argument, you know, they would be each going to their own project. I'll be going to my house. So I wasn't a project girl. So but 2 days later, all of them is friends, and then they want to go after the person who fought. It was so stupid. Now when they fought and then they got back together, then they want to go after the people who came after them. But I'm like, they was defending you. So I'm like, I'm not getting into that. So every time they fought, every couple of days, me and Brenda were like, let's go home, Rhonda. And me and Brenda just went to her house, listened to Diana Ross and other music, and ate and played games a little bit, did our homework, and then I went home. You know. So here comes Jackie. Me and Jackie was friends because we both was in the dance group. We both loved to dance, and we both was in the dance group. So it was time for us to graduate. So Jackie told all her friends, including me, because I was sometimes in the group. She said, "Oh, I want you to sign up for this school. Not ask us if we want to go." She told us because she was one of the bullies. So guess what I did? She wanted us to go to school A, and most of the people did go to school A. Guess what I did? I went to school B. I am like, no, I'm going to school B. So I picked school B, got in. It was it was it was easier for me because all I had to do was take the bus and it would drop me off right in front of my school. Not right, but 1 block away from my school around the corner. So I picked that school. I didn't know at the time that it was that easy to get to the school, but I just picked it because I just picked that school because they was offering I think 2 or 3 schools to go to, or two. So when she said she was going to school A, I'm like, I'm going to school B, wherever that school is. I didn't care what it was. I'm not hanging around this all my life. You crazy? So I went to school B. Okay. So I'm in school. I'm in school B. So she got mad. Blah 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 blah. Didn't care. I think we would see each other and talk or whatever through high school. But I'm gonna tell you after I get out of junior high school what happened with that. So now I'm in junior high school, and I'm outside my building playing jump rope. Me and Pauline and all the girls on the block. Blah blah blah. Here come this dude. He's oh no. Every day I had to take the bus. So every day for some reason this one guy and his sister was always on the block or always on the bus. Lisa and oh God, what is it? Manny. I'm sorry. Lisa and Manny. And every day Lisa and Manny be on the bus, and so would I. Because we all went to the same school. We didn't know each other, but we started talking because we noticed that every day we on the same bus, and then every day we do go in the same school. She lived she lived in Brownsville like I do, but she lived further. They live Brownsville like I did, but they live further down. So with their mom and their sister, mom and their brother. So we all went to the same school. So Manny liked me. So one day, Lisa said to me, "My brother like you, and you better be his girlfriend, or else I'm gonna beat you up." I said with my smart ass mouth, "Well, I guess you better beat me up." I'm like, "I don't know your brother." Plus, he was fat, cute but fat. I'm like, "No." I said, "My mom would not allow me to have a boyfriend. I'm not thinking your brother." We didn't fight or nothing, but I told her, I said, "I can't have a boyfriend." So before we graduated, and I'm jumping rope. Manny, he graduated. Him and his sister graduated, but I was still in junior high school. Him and his sister graduated. So one day I'm outside playing rope with me and Pauline and blah 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 blah. So some guy walked past. He said, "Hi, Rhonda." I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, "Who are you?" Now I'm in front of my building with my mom, because I don't know if you know West Indians, but they're very strict. They don't want the girls to be just talking to any old guy. It doesn't look decent, and that's my mom. My mom was very strict. And I'm like, "Who that?" He said, "Oh, you don't know who this is?" I'm like, "No." He said, "Oh, it's Manny." I'm like, "Manny?" I was like, "Oh, hi, Manny. How you doing?" Now, guess how Manny look? Manny slimmed down. I'm talking about slim. Why? Because he went to Westinghouse and he went on the football team and he slimmed down. When I say Manny was fat, Manny was fat. Now Manny was slim. You hear me? So he didn't stop and he walked past me. He said, "You don't know who this is?" I'm like, "No." He says, "Manny." And I said, "Oh, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, you look different. You look nice." Da, 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 da. He said, "Yeah, I'm on a football team. I go to Westinghouse, blah, 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 blah. Da, 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 da." I'm like, "Oh." He said, "You got a boyfriend?" I'm like, "No." But he still wanted to talk to me. So did I talk to him at that time? Hmm. We eventually end up talking, but I'm trying to remember, did we speak after that, or was it a year or two later? It might have been a year or two later. Yeah, it might, because I was in high school. Might have been a year or two later. But after that day, he kept in touch every every day. He'd be calling me, blah 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 blah. And I'm still young, so I can't date. So he's in high school. I'm in junior high school, and I think my last year of school, me and Priscilla. Now Priscilla is an Amazon, and I'm not saying that to offend, but she's tall because I'm short. She's tall and she's big. Not fat, but she, the Serena Williams type. So, and me and her was best friends in junior high school, and she lived in the project across from me, so we became best friends. So one day, some girl, I'm trying to remember why this fight came about. I think they were throwing eggs outside, cause on Halloween back in the day they used to just throw eggs at the school door. So as usual, I would try to go to the back door, but in my junior high school, you couldn't go to the back door. I used to do that in public school because you could. Because in public school, the front door is all the way in the front. The back door leads you still out to the front, but it leads you further up to the front. In junior high school, the back door led you to the next block, so they wouldn't let us. And it was out my way from my bus. So one day, some girl wanted to fight me for some reason. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna meet you outside." I'm trying to remember the reason. It was something stupid. And so I used my brain like I did in public school. So I didn't tell Priscilla anything about it, but everybody in school was afraid of Priscilla. And so happened, Priscilla was my best friend. So I didn't tell Priscilla anything about some girl wanted to fight me. I was trying to find out. I'm trying to read. Oh, I think when her eggs hit me and I asked her to stop throwing the eggs so it can hit me and stuff. And she got mad because I wasn't supposed to say nothing to her. I don't know, something like that. But I wasn't the only one, you know. So anyway, so instead of me going to, "Yo, Priscilla, these girls want to fight," blah, blah, I didn't tell Priscilla nothing because I didn't want to involve her. It's not her fight, and I don't know why we fighting. So if she asks me why we fighting, I'm like, I can't tell her I don't know because I really didn't know. And so what I did is every day me and Priscilla would wait for each other after school and walk to the bus stop together. So that's what I did. So when I came out the door, I saw two girls waiting in front. One was the girl who wanted to fight me, and the other was her friend. So I looked at her, and I just kept talking to Priscilla like nothing happened. So when they saw me with Priscilla, they backed off. They didn't even come and say, "Oh, we're gonna fight." They said nothing. So I didn't have to involve Priscilla with nothing, and that's how I did. That's how I dealt with that bully. I just didn't involve my friend, but I showed him that, yeah, girl, if you want to play like you want to come jump me, I got my friend. She don't know nothing about it, but she ain't gonna stand there and watch me get beat down. And since she was almost the biggest girl in school, nobody would go near her. So at that time, I just used my brain as opposed to just involving anybody. So I didn't tell her anything, and me and her was walking down the block, talking to each other like nothing happened. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, I got over that. And then, as usual in school, the next day, everything was swept under the rug, blah, 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 blah. Everybody went up along to their own business. So it was time for me to graduate junior high school. Same thing with Jackie, telling everybody what school she wants the people to go to. We kept in touch because, like I said, me and her was in dance, so we used to go to the same dance clubs and dance recitals and stuff, so we always used to see each other. Here she come. Around, you graduating? Why don't you go to Erasmus? Guess what I did? And Erasmus was like 2 blocks from my house. I went totally the other direction. Don't tell me what to do. And plus I didn't want to go to that school because it was too close to my home. I wanted to meet other people. I wanted to venture out. So I went to the other school. And I had a great time there. So in high school, I met my other best friend. We made best friends named Caprice. Me and Caprice lived in the same neighborhood on Flatbush. Oh, by the time I got out of junior high school, my mom moved from Brownsville to Flatbush. So every day I had to go up like 3 blocks to take the bus to go to my school, my high school. And every day this girl named Caprice was there. We didn't know each other at the time, and we didn't know each other at the time, but then we made friends at the bus stop. Caprice was on the cheerleading squad. So she said, "Why don't you join cheerleading squad?" Blah, 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 blah. I said, "Oh, okay." So she put in a word. I tried out. I made it. Blah, 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 blah. So I became a cheerleader. I started doing my cheers. That's where I met Mr. Carter. I'm not going to tell you. Mr. Carter used to just come to my school and sit on the banister. That's it. All day. He would be sitting on a banister all day while people go to school. Go to their classes. So one day I'm walking through the hall with my uniform on, and he just staring at me. I'm like, "Don't stare at me. Don't even look this way." Why? Because he was really light and he had big lips. And of course, so did I. Back then, big lips was not in. I'm like, "Don't come near me. I don't want nobody to think you my relative." I know. I'm like, "Don't come near me. Don't even talk to me." Because we both had big lips. And I'm like, I had to go through life with my big lip being teased about it. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to get nobody, no boyfriend with no big lips like me. Sorry. You stay over there and I'm staying over here. But anyway, throughout school, he just sitting banister. So that's how I met my boyfriend, Eddie. Eduardo. Sorry, you don't like being called Eddie. Eduardo. He's Panamanian. So one day after when school was over, was it over? No, lunchtime. It was lunchtime. So me and the other cheerleaders, we had this place where we go get our sandwiches. So we went to the store, but we was all running late. So we said, okay, whoever get their sandwich first, leave, you know, and tell the teacher that the rest of us is coming. So one by one, everybody got their sandwiches and left. I was the last one. I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do, what I wanted to eat. So I ordered this liverwurst sandwich because one of the cheerleaders told me it's nice, I should try it instead of the regular turkey and cheese or ham and cheese. So I said, all right, I'll try it. I'm down. So I tried it and loved it. She said, oh, try the liverwurst sandwich with mustard and mayonnaise, blah, blah, blah. And she told me everything to put on pickles and blah. I said, bet, I'm going to try it. And it was great. So I got my sandwich and I went to school. The doors was locked because we went to the back door. The doors was locked. So I'm banging and banging and banging. Who comes downstairs? Eduardo. He opens the door. He made conversation in his little Spanish accent. And we talking. He takes my books from me and he holds it. And he walks me to class. And while we talk and get to know each other. And ever since that day, I couldn't get rid of him. Ever since that day, I couldn't get rid of him. And every time he saw me, he would take my books from me and walk through the hallway. So I'm like, he's talking to everybody. How you doing, everybody? But I notice when people say hi to him, everybody back it up. So, I'm like, oh, all the girls and the guys saying, hi, Eduardo. So the girls trying to flirt and the guys saying, hi, Eduardo. And they backing up. It's like, that's one thing. When I used to walk the hallways with him, you can just see the path just clearing. I'm like, oh, no, at first, because I wasn't really thinking on that level. I said, oh, he knows everybody. He a friendly guy. He's a popular dude. I'm like, oh, okay, because everybody was saying hi to him, girls and guys. But after a while, cause we dated for a long time throughout high school. But I noticed every time we walk into the hallway, the path was clearing. I'm like, and the guys was like, hi, Eduardo. And backing up. I swear to you not. I swear I lied to you not. He cleared paths. Because he was a maniac. I didn't know that he wouldn't show that side to me. But I didn't know. I didn't know that he got down like that. I swear. I just say, oh, he's friendly. He knows everybody. And then the path is clearing while he walked me to my class. And then like 6 months later, a couple of months after that, I'm like, why every time people just clearing the path? I'm like, Yeah, that's when I found out that Eduardo's no joke. He fuck you up in a minute, and everybody was afraid of him.